Hello, welcome back to the Bald Book Geek. This is kind of a weird day. So I saw this video on the Poptimist channel. I wasn't tagged to do it, but it's the end of the year tag. Let's just do this. And I thought I'd just do it here, do a nice relaxed video, and just, why not? Something less manic, I suppose. The tag was originally created by Ariel Bassett, but these are the questions. So question 1, are there any books you started this year but you need to finish? Simple answer, no. Long answer is that when I read to the fullest. I don't tend to start and stop. Once I'm in a book for the long haul, good or bad, and I'll see what happens. But no, I've basically finished everything which I needed to read, which is kind of where I like to be. It's one of those things where it's like, I'm here, I'm happy. I don't tend to have lots of stacks of unread books or books that are half finished. Always been that way. I don't know why though. You know, I really don't know. 2, do you have an autumnal book to transition to the end of the year? Honestly, no. I don't tend to transition. I don't tend to do seasonal reading. I have books that I associate more with seasons, but I've never done like the whole, oh, this book I'll read in autumn, this book I'll read in winter. It's not how my brain works. I read with my mood rather than anything else. I always have done though. It's just how it works for me. I don't have this whole transitional seasonal thing going on. I never have done. Sue me. Question 3. Is there a new release you've been waiting for? Not particularly. I don't tend to get hyped about new releases. I like to know if certain writers I like are reading books. But I'm not, I don't need to scream from the rooftop. I think this is more aimed at the ARC people. You know, the people that request a lot of books, the people that do this, the people that do that. It's just not how there's a few books on my radar, but there's nothing that I'm going to scream from the rooftop yet. Although I will say there's about 4 books there's one book that may or may not be coming out that I'm really looking forward to. Because legal trouble, but hopefully, if it comes out, I will definitely read it. What are 3 books you want to read before the end of the year? Again, I don't read that way. I'm currently, as I film this, I am listening to the audio of William Gibson's Alien 3, which is spectacular. Again, there's nothing unread at the moment. Winter's a really slow month for book people, so I'm just sort of delving into my sort of classics and things like that. There's nothing that I need to read. There's nothing that I'm going, oh, I really need to read this before the end of the year. I don't have a TBR pile. I just read what fits my mood. I have to admit though, there was one book that I was really looking forward to and I was bitterly disappointed to it, but I can't talk about that one yet, which is review embargo until a certain date. So I did read one book that I was like, I forced myself to read it. And next question, is there a book you still think could shock you and become your favourite book of the year? No, because I've read everything. That's where I'm at with this point. I have literally come to the end of this year and read everything, and it's a really nice feeling. I've read all I want to read. So happy with what I've read. I've got my epic wrap up, my favourite books of 2019 video in the works. So you'll see my best books. I don't have a favourite book, so to speak. I never have done. I don't play favourites. It's like trying to ask you if you have a favourite child. Although I think most people secretly do. Anyway, so yeah, I don't read that way. I don't work that way. Final question. Have you already started making reading plans for 2020? I'm sorry to disappoint people, but no, I don't think that far ahead. There's a couple of review copies I've requested. That's it, really. There's nothing that's gone. Like I mentioned earlier, there's a handful of books that are on my radar, but there's nothing that I'm setting in concrete. I've got a few video ideas, and I've got something tied up that I've got to do some legal clearing on, but that will be coming hopefully next year. And hopefully by next year I'll have a book out myself. That's like a plan. There is a really slimy side of AuthorTube and BookTube that I don't like, and I don't want to be one of those people with my book. So we're working on it as we speak, and I'm going from there. No, I don't think I've got any reading plans. Like, I'm just going with the flow. I tend to read emotionally or how I feel at the time, or if a book just catches my eye, oh, I'll read that. I never plan ahead, I just go with it unless it's a review copy that I have to read. I'm not going to tag anyone. I'm just going to say, if you've watched this video and you think it's interesting, you're tagged. So if you just mention me in the video if you want to do it.